And welcome everybody to the live stream. Sorry about that. We were doing some updates behind the scenes. Welcome everyone. How are we today? It looks like we got a couple people in the chat here. We got Cameron. How's it going, Cameron? Long time no see. Glad to see you in the live stream. Suzanne is also in here saying it's beautiful outside. It is beautiful outside, but unfortunately we're inside doing weather coverage because you can already see on the screen that we have a lot to talk about. We don't have our typical intro, but we do have severe weather on Friday and coming to you a little bit early because I think it's going to be I think it's going to be pretty big if everything works out, but we're going to break down everything you need to know and we'll definitely let you know how bad it's going to be and help with that storm anxiety. So, welcome everybody. And Andrea says hi. Cameron said, nice merch. Yes, merch is coming if you guys didn't know. Kay says, hello, all. Cameron says, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome. Alrighty, so without further ado, we're going to get right into this. And you can see on our screen here that you're looking at, this is the severe weather outlook. So this gets issued by the Storm Prediction Center. And you can see if I bring the screen up a little bit, you might not be able to see, but down in this bottom corner, we have a scale that goes up to 5. And so we have a 1 out of 5, we have a 2 out of 5, and we have a horrible writing 3 out of 5 on a severe weather scale. And that means that significant storms are going to be possible. And you can see everywhere that we cover here is under an enhanced risk, so an elevated threat of severe weather, which means that we're talking about damaging winds, tornadoes, large hail, flooding, everything's going to be possible with this system. So it's definitely going to be significant with that. So I do want to go over to one page before we get into the models and the timing and the full breakdown real quick. Mom says hello. Good evening. Hopefully you have to try to get on the TV over there if you can. But anyways, we're going to keep going with this. Let me get the right marker here because we don't need it gigantic. So you've probably been seeing this float around on different pages here, but this is the weather outlook. So this is the probability of severe weather. So you can see we have the red chance right here. So we have the red chance and we have the yellow chance. And I want to bring your attention to, you see like this black hashed, like you see all these little lines. That indicates they only use it if they're highly confident that significant severe weather is possible. So like we're talking about strong winds, stronger than 70 miles per hour. We're talking EF2 plus tornadoes possible. And that's usually the only time they decide to issue a hatch risk. And you see we're under that threat and we're technically under one of the highest risks that you can have for this outlook this far out for probability of severe weather. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, 3 days out, they don't give an accurate like tornado probability where it's at. We just get a generalized area, and you see we are in the red. We don't want to be in the red because that indicates some strong storms being possible and maybe some significant storms being possible as well. So let's get right into the models because we have a lot to talk about. We're going to break it down all for you and easy to learn terms. This is going to be elementary school, everybody. So here we go. So we're going to take a look at few different models here because it's a little bit tricky, but we're starting to get an idea of what is actually going to happen. So this is the NAM model. This is the one of our short range models that we look at. So we're going to get right into the timing. So here is the timing. I'll walk you through it. So Wednesday, Thursday, nothing to worry about here, but let's get all the way to the end. Let me not use this one. Let me go. This one's a little bit easier to see. So you can see all day Friday is going to be just fine. It's going to be very windy. We'll get to that in just a second, but I want to bring your attention to as we get into the afternoon, evening hour. So right now you're looking at 5 p.m. This is the evening rush, and you can see we have a line of storms building out to the west. This is pretty consistent on what we expect to be happening. And as you can see, once it starts getting closer to our area, it really starts to ramp up a little bit. You can see between Columbia and Raleigh, we have some darker colors, and you can see a little bit of some notches pointing out in the radar here, and the future radar, which may cause some spin up tornadoes. There is a possibility that we will have a tornado threat, and it is possible that we'll see some quick spin up tornadoes that may be strong due to the type of environment that we have here. So I do want to let you guys know that tornadoes are unfortunately in the forecast. And let's go to this one so we can go all the way through. Okay, so here we go. So this is 7 p.m. and you can see the line of thunderstorms are definitely formed and in a line. We can see some pop-up storms in front of them. Right now, it's not looking like it's going to be a factor, but we do have to watch this line because anywhere in this line here can have quick spin up tornadoes, but the main threat is going to be strong, damaging winds. I do want to make that clear. The primary threat is going to be strong, damaging winds because these storms are going to be moving around 60 to 70 miles per hour. So if it lands over your location, it's only going to be there about 15, 30 minutes. We're not talking a prolonged period of storms here. It's going to be a line of storms that's going to be pushing through and it's going to be moving out fairly quickly. But with that being said, we do have a strong chance of damaging winds. And you can see mostly around all the area is going to be around 8 p.m. So around the 7, 8, 9 p.m. is what we're thinking here for significant severe weather. If it plays out, we'll show you other factors that are limiting this. But if it does plan out, expect 70-mile-per-hour winds, 80-mile-per-hour winds everywhere in this line. Quick spin up tornadoes that may be strong, EF2 plus that we are expecting. And we're also expecting some large hail as well. So once again, it's going to be very fast. It's not going to be slow. And you can see once we get to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it's already out of the area. So like I said, with the strong enough wind shear, the wind aloft a couple thousand feet, it's going to be kicking these storms out of the way. So we have to definitely watch for that. We will be live as well on Friday, providing live real-time updates. And we have a storm chaser that will be on the ground, giving us live video and updates from the ground. So make sure you tune in Friday. We'll be covering the storm because unfortunately, I don't want to make you guys scared, but to be honest with you, I'll be very honest here. When you have quick hitting storms like this, sometimes the radar only updates every 2 minutes. So it's going to be very difficult to try to track this, but we'll be here with you on Friday to track this as well. But I do want to make it clear that it might be a little bit difficult. We might have to call out some lead times and whatnot, but like I said, this is going to be a very, very, very fast system with this. So that is the timing, but I want to go over a little bit of deep analysis here. Let's see. Velvet says hi. Cameron says I'm driving into the storm, Kenny. It's going to be a blast. Oh my goodness. Well, have fun with that. But I want to get into a couple of factors here. So we do have I would say some fail modes. Like you have a checklist when you have severe thunderstorms. You have to have energy, you need moisture, you need the temperatures right. So basically what we're going to do here very quickly is we're going to go through and see if we have all that. But the one thing, if you have to ask me what I think about this system, it's kind of tricky because in order to get tornadoes, you need the dew points above 55 and around 60 degrees to be in a comfortable environment for tornadoes. Well, we are right at the borderline. So the moisture is not really getting up to where we need, and we can thank the storm system that's down south. We'll show you that here. So this is the one thing I am watching here. So you can see on the screen, let's zoom it out. This might be a little bit tough to see here, but so you can see once we get through the week, you can see how these brighter colors here on the screen, you can try to watch this because it will try to go up. These are the dew points. This is basically the moisture content. We need the moisture to have severe thunderstorms. And you can see it tries to reach up, but it doesn't get that far where we need. We really need these bright colors to scoot up closer to the St. Louis area to really get any long track severe weather, long track thunderstorms, long track tornadoes. So we are not seeing that. So that is one good thing about this system, is that the dew points here are not going to be where we need to be for a significant severe weather outbreak. But if you're anywhere near Arkansas or anywhere down there, you definitely need to watch out, because once again, it's going to be right where we need to be. But I want to bring your attention to other products here that we look at as well. So we also have to look at the energy. You might hear people talk about CAPE, like the storms don't have enough CAPE, there's not enough energy. Basically, when people talk about CAPE, like for thunderstorms or severe weather, that basically means how much energy is going to be in, basically how much gasoline. Like, are we going to be talking about empty tank, half tank, a quarter tank of fuel going to be for these storms? So I want to take you through this because this does a pretty good job around here. So we bring you through, and yeah. So, in order to get, once again, Storm Class 101, and in order to get some severe weather, you need at least 1,000 joules per kilogram. That is just the requirement. It's one of our check boxes here as well. And we talked about it in the video on Sunday, but you need the energy to be around 1,000 joules per kilogram. And we're right at that mark. So we are in that requirement for severe weather thunderstorms to be probable because of the available potential energy that we have with this storm, or the fuel, I should say. So we're definitely in the criteria. You can see it's pulling up from the south, and it is definitely shown that we do have some energy, at least for thunderstorms. The main threat is going to be the wind, but we have to watch for those quick spin up tornadoes as well. But I would be more concerned about 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds with this storm than a tornado threat. So I wouldn't stay up late concerned about tornado threat, but make sure you tune into our live stream, because of course we'll keep you updated as well what's going on with the on the ground with our storm chaser as well. So we'll definitely keep you covered. But another product that we have here as well, this is Supercell Composite, and basically what you're looking at, you see some bright colors. This is basically like a scorecard of if we're going to see, like, the higher the numbers, the higher amount of chance that we have for thunderstorms to form. And you want around above at least 5, close to 10. And you can see we're right around there. So we're definitely going to get some thunderstorms. It's going to be happening. But the main concern I at least feel comfortable in saying is that we're going to be having a major wind threat, because these storms are going to be moving very, very fast as well. Let's see. Cameron says, "I'm here for the deep analysis. Appreciate that." Suzanne says, "Really appreciate your forecast." You're welcome. Yeah. So, in my opinion, again, a lot of questions about this storm because there's a lot of information going around. Yes, there is going to be thunderstorms. They're going to be moving fast. There is going to be damaging winds. Now, as far as the tornadoes and stuff goes, that's going to be more of like a now casting. So when we're doing our live stream and whatnot, we'll really be able to see what we're looking at here. So let me just look at some other models here. But if you're just tuned in, before we do that, I'll show you the timing as well. And also, if you see anybody using the 18Z NAM, I wouldn't trust what you're seeing, because the 18Z NAM, which is the computer model, does not factor in the weather balloon data. So it can always either uptrend or downtrend event. So always use either the 0Z or the 12Z if you're in the weather model. So that's that. But let's go into the timing here. We're going to use the 18Z just for the timing. But once again, you can see all day Friday. I've been telling people like this all day, but all day Friday is going to be just fine. So if you have any plans on Friday morning, afternoon, you'll be just fine. I know there's someone asked me about the commuting for Arkansas. You'll be just fine as long as you get here before about 4 p.m. So, But on the way home, on the drive home, you'll be just fine. The storms will be out to our west. So around 6 p.m. as we're coming home, the main line of storms, the severe part, is going to be out to the west. Now, we do have a chance for some pop-up thunderstorms. We really do have to watch those just in case they do anything, but the likelihood of that is 20%. The main thing is this line coming through around 7 p.m. It starts out around Warrenton, a little bit of Lincoln County, but it really fills through the area around 8 p.m. So the prime time, I would say, is the 7 p.m. to around 10 p.m. So that's when you can normally expect us to be live as well. We will be live once again covering the storm. Holly says, will there be big hail? In the hail department, I do not think it's going to be a really concern because one, the system is moving very, very fast. There's a lot of wind aloft in the atmosphere. So the likelihood there's hail that might be possible, but I'm not expecting that to be the main concern. The main concern is going to be the damaging winds. We're going to have some damage being possible around town. So, but the main concern is damaging winds with some isolated tornadoes, but due to with the energy and the wind shear, the speed, basically the wind spinning aloft, I'll show you in just a second. We do have a chance of maybe one or two storms producing a strong tornado, but I would not be worried about that. Don't stay up late, don't freak out, don't have anxiety because we are not really concerned about that. Holly says, thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, so one thing I do want to show you here. Let's see if we can get something pulled up here. Okay. So so it looks like probably a lot of jibble jabber. Probably looks like you just started coloring in kindergarten, which is fairly true. So this is called a holograph. It's basically a more in-depth analysis of what's going to be happening in the atmosphere. So I'll break it down for you because you're probably like, what is this? About to click off the live stream because I have no idea what you're talking about. So here we go. Let me just move this over. My overlay is a little bit weird, but okay, we'll try to do. Let's let's do this color. Okay, so basically one thing that we look at here is this area right here. First thing we look at is this area right here. And that indicates winds at the surface. So down here is winds at the surface. And you can see as we get up with height, wind direction is changing. So we're going to have some decent spin in the atmosphere, which unfortunately causes those tornadoes and the damaging winds. So unfortunately, that's why we do have that probability as well. So, and then to our left here in this graph right here, this is basically some lines, but it also shows us what's happening in the atmosphere. And just to make it short and sweet for you, you see how this line goes up and it makes a left? When it makes a left like that, it means dry air is right there. So it's basically a cap. So the thunderstorms are going to build, but then there's going to be a blockage there. So it won't be able to get too significant. And that's one of the factors that will be in play tomorrow, that we may have some limiting factors to make them severe enough, but most of the models are expecting some type of severe thunderstorm with at least damaging winds possible with any storms that do become severe. So there is going to be a severe threat, but there is a couple limiting factors that may help us out in the severe weather department that make it not as bad. So, but you might see this thing in tornado probability hazard type. Don't always rely on that because that's not always right. But other things that you can't see on the screen, it shows basically energy for the storm. We're right around that criteria for a thunderstorm. So, but I'm not looking at anything significant. So there is a possibility here. If you want me to be honest here, there is a possibility here on the screen that we may get an upgrade to a 4 out of 5. So I might post it tomorrow. It is possible that we might get upgrade to a 4 out of 5, but I don't want you to panic because sometimes when it's a 4 out of 5, it doesn't mean that it's only for tornadoes. They can update the they can update the risk for the wind damage. So The tornado probability might come down, which I think is possible, but it will be there due to how much wind is in the atmosphere. But don't be surprised if you see a 4 out of 5 on a severe weather scale if I post the graphic in the morning and you see that it might just be for wind. So make sure you're reading this top half. I don't know why I'm pointing at my computer screen, but make sure you read the top part right here so you know which one you're looking at. Okay, so don't be alarmed if you see that at all. Can you tell us about the eclipse? Cameron says, yes, the eclipse I think will be just fine. I think someone asked about that. The eclipse I think will be fine. I think we might have some cloud cover. Let's look at the models for cloud cover so we can try to see it. I think it's at like 2 in the morning. Is it around like 2 in the morning? Can someone let me know in the chat? I think it's 2 in the morning, I believe. Looks like people are fighting over being my biggest fan. Okay. But let's see. I'm gonna check the cloud cover. This is not always accurate, so don't take this 150%. So let's see. Let's go into the Friday morning here, and it looks like we will have some cloud cover around the eclipse. So looks like 100% cloud cover. I think it's around like 2 a.m. So the eclipse forecast, as of right now with this model, it is showing some cloud cover. So I don't think the eclipse will be viewable, even if you're all the way up in like Chicago, Illinois, anywhere basically in the whole state of Missouri. You're probably not going to be seeing the eclipse. So, but I do want to show you something here as well. Alrighty, let's see. I just want to show you this because sometimes you will see it pop up on other people's pages and you might get a little bit freaked out, but once again, don't be scared, but I just wanted to show you the lightning. If it shows you the lightning, where is this at? Hold on, people. Sorry, not prepared. But you should be prepared for the storm. So, all right. So, real quick here, Cameron says it's me and you know it. All righty. Okay. So, basically, one thing I want to show you here is this is another way to figure out the storm as well. So, this is the lightning. Yes, there is a model that predicts lightning, which I think is crazy if you ask me, because I don't know how you can predict the lightning. But you can see around 7 p.m., a lot of strong thunderstorms are going to be forming. You can see some bright colors here as well. And this is show you the intensity of the thunderstorm, because normally when you see lightning, either the storm is strong or is strengthening. So that's usually what it means. So you can see around there. Oh, this is next week. Okay, hold on. But you can see once the storms come in, once the storms once the storms come in here, you can see a lot of lightning around the area. So they're going to be pretty strong. The severity as well will go to this page. It really gives a nice visual expectation of what to expect. So the tornado graph here. So this is by the National Weather Service. So we have the tornadoes here. Number of tornadoes expected. This is basically a few. So maybe like 2 or 3, but I want to bring your attention to the bottom part where it shows, it's, I don't know why it's not showing, but you can see it shows strong EF2 plus, and that's just because of the wind. So, but once again, I don't want you to be scared or concerned. That's not the main point of the system, is what I'm trying to say. But we go to the hail department. Isolated hail is going to be possible, just like we expected. We're not really expecting anything too crazy. Nickel size or smaller is what we're expecting. So not really a hail threat, just because the storms are moving so fast is one of my least concerns. But look at the wind. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you probably can't see that. But you can see here the wind on the screen. We have scattered wind coverage of storms with damaging winds scattered. That's basically almost an outbreak for wind as well. And you can see it's up to 70 miles per hour. And now I know you guys know what 70 miles per hour, because I see you go on 270 and a 60. So You guys know what 70 miles per hour looks like and feels like, and you know that can cause some serious damage. So we are expecting. In my opinion, I think this is mainly going to be a windstorm, wind gusts, flying trampolines. If you have one, it's not going to be pleasant to be outside. So that's basically that. That is the breakdown of the forecast visualized. Basically, what I said in a nice picture. You were right. I'm terrified. I think so. But you're way up there. I don't think nothing's happening up there near Chicago. Okay, Matthew laughs. See, I know. I know. I see you guys when I drive my box truck. I see you guys. You guys know what 70 miles per hour is. So that is that. So once again, I do want to bring you over to a little bit of a forecast, what we can expect on Friday, because not only we have the severe storms, but we have severe wind gusts that are going to be blowing things around. It's going to be blowing you around. It's almost going to be like that last Wednesday when it was, I think it was last Wednesday when the winds were like crazy, like Hurricane Irma is blowing through here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be back. So let me get you to the wind gusts here. And this is around 1 a.m. Friday morning here. So if you happen to be driving, I would highly pay attention or share this with somebody that you know they do have to drive, especially in high profile vehicles like SUVs and whatnot. But around the morning time, the winds gusts are going to be already near 30 miles per hour. So it's already going to be windy all day. You're going to feel this storm coming. Like you can just feel the wind that we're going to be feeling already. So I wouldn't be surprised to expect some isolated power outages, maybe some scatter power outages, especially with the storm. So keep that in mind that power outages are going to be possible because it's going to be windy all day. So any loose tree limbs, anything like that can easily fall into power lines and cause problems. And as we go through noon, you can see around Raleigh or so, we're going to be up near 40 mile per hour, 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour near Springfield. And that wind is just going to keep moving through. So before the storms even start, where are we going to be gusting at 50 miles per hour? And that's why I mentioned these storms are going to be moving very, very, very fast. So it's going to be difficult. You need to stay on top with the weather. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. We'll be live as well. And we'll be providing timely updates so you can be prepared because it's going to be very, very fast as well. Because you can look away from one moment and next thing you know, there's a storm here and the radar hasn't even updated yet. So it's going to be very tricky, but of course, you came to the right person. You followed the right person. We'll keep you prepared. So won't be too scared, but definitely don't let your guard down because there is severe weather happening. The extent of it, we'll find more about tomorrow as well. And with the few people that we have in here, I was going to see if you guys would like me to do another live update tomorrow around this time, just to give some newer information what to expect for Friday. But probably not much is going to change because it's mainly going to be a wind event. Not really expecting too much hail, but mainly a wind event. But I can do a live update tomorrow evening if you guys are willing to do that. And I just want to see if there's any new data coming in. Let's see. I don't think we have any data coming in. Yeah. No new data coming in. Andrea says yes. Okay. Yeah, we can provide another live update of what to expect over the models. And especially, I just wanted to do this live stream just to let you know that this is going to be happening. This is possible. It is not possible. It's likely. We're in a 3 out of 5 in a severe weather scale. So any storm that does become severe, it is going to be strong, but mainly the wind gusts. So I would just worry about the wind. And when we're doing the live stream, we'll focus on the tornadoes. I don't want you to go crazy about tornadoes because that's not the main point of this event. And plus, if we do get one, it's going to be so quick that it's not going to have time to be long track. We're not expecting any long track tornadoes, long track wind events that's going to be able to pick up steam, stuff like that. They're basically going to be forming like I showed on the radar. They're basically going to be forming in Colombia, and they have about 2 to 3 hours to get at full strength. So we'll see if that happens. I think it will happen, but basically all that means is that it's going to be giving us a run for our money to see if we get severe storms. But it is going to be possible. There's growing confidence. That's why we're in that 3 out of 5 on the severe weather risk. But once again, like I said, we will be live on Friday. Make sure you tell everyone that you know that we will be live on Friday as well. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns about Friday's event? We do have one day to prepare. Of course, we'll be posting updates throughout the day tomorrow, keeping guys aware if anything changes. And we'll also be live again at 7 p.m. for our update. Yeah, I don't know if you're watching, Mom, but I just read your text, and that's pretty crazy. But I am super excited that we will be having a storm chaser on our live feed. It'll be the first time for the severe weather season. So, and he's going to be around just the only the area that we cover as well. So it's going to be really cool to have him. We'll be able to see some cool shots, and it'll really be nice because the radar's not going to be probably going to be loading in time. So we'll be able to see his feed and get even more accurate updates as well. Cameron says in all caps, good job on the forecast, Kenny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate that. But if nobody has any more questions, I think we'll wrap it up here. And once again, we'll be posting more updates tomorrow on our Facebook page. So make sure you look out for those. And we'll also be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. and for the severe weather event on Friday as well. So make sure you're following and make sure you're liking a couple posts so Facebook keeps me in front of your face so you can always make sure you know when I go live as well. So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up here. And Kanan says, babe, did you say the timing of your live update Friday? The live update Friday, anybody on the rewatch or that is still watching, it's going to be around 6 p.m. I haven't decided yet, but of course, tomorrow I'll make sure we get that out there. So make sure you share this with your friends and family. Let them know that we're going to be live again tomorrow. Severe weather is coming, and we'll also be live with timely, accurate updates and radar analysis of the storm that's going to be happening on Friday evening. So with that being said, I'm going to roll the intro and we're going to roll on out. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like on the way out, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. But till then, have a great night.